Live ESPN. Broadcasting live from the ESPN Madison studio with Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
I never dream about work, but I had a dream about work last night, and it was, Chris, you were there. It'll be like Wizard of Oz. Chris Orr, you were there. Maddie, you were there. Our social media queen. I don't know if we're streaming on TikTok yet, but we are at Jim and Matt and on YouTube. And Alex Strofe was there too, and you, the audience, was there as well. You were the scarecrow, obviously.
I don't like that you're dreaming about me, Jim.
Alex Strofe there. Do you want to be the Cowardly Lion or the Tin Man, Chris?
Tin Man.
Tin Man. So we'll call.
You don't have a brain, Chris. That's cool.
Tin Man doesn't have a heart. You don't have a brain, Scarecrow.
Yeah, you don't have a brain.
Oh, I mean, that's accurate.
Regardless
of what I am.
Cold.
Physically and mentally, you're the Scarecrow of this show. I don't know what that makes Aaron Rodgers. Is he the Wicked Witch of the West or East? Or
He's a complicated fella.
He is a complicated fella. But it was that we were joking around during the show about breaking Aaron Rodgers news that he was going to announce what he was going to do, and then he actually did it in the show. I don't know if that'll, it was the two of us, so that'd mean to have to happen today, Chris.
Come on, Aaron.
I don't know if I had a dream that was a premonition, or if I just trying to speak it into existence so we can end this constant conversation about will he or won't he. But Chris, this is just feeling like the Packers and the Aaron Rodgers camp and Aaron Rodgers in general, the Hall of Fame quarterback. It's heading towards a divorce.
Yeah,
this is a bad relationship that nobody has the onions to end. Is kind of where I am now. That I don't think Aaron Rodgers wants to be here anymore. And if you want to continue this analogy, the Packers have had a little aside. Maybe it was a friend for a while in Jordan Love, but now they want to turn that into a friends with benefits situation here. And he's had the she's all that glow up there, and now Jordan Love is looking like a starting QB to Goody. And it really comes down to, I think, both these sides, Chris Orr, and this is Rutledge and Hamilton presented by Coors Light. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Chris Orr. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that is crush Coors Light.
I think this comes down to who has the onions to break up here. I think both sides are just bad at breakups.
For sure. They're trying to let each other down easy, let all the fans down easy.
There's children involved. The fans of the children. Yeah,
exactly.
Who gets custody of the Packer fans? Some are going to want to go with dad. Some are going to stay with mom.
Who's mom?
I think mom is the organization. I think dad is mainly because I would imagine that last Packer fans would go with dad. And I think in a scenario where you had to choose, the kids are going to take mom.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're definitely trying to let each other down easy, but even just a little nugget for everybody out there listening or watching. If you pay attention to the timing of how these teams bring up certain things or leak things to the media, even like the Bears talking about how they're open to trading the number 1 overall pick. That's just them letting the rest of the league know, come at me with your offers.
Right. It's like in the Animal Kingdom where they put their peacock feathers up. Like that's just everyone's.
Exactly. Come let me know what it is that you want to do. Just like, it was like when the Panthers were like, oh, we'll listen to anything as far as Christian McCaffrey. We don't want to trade him, but we'll listen to anything.
Right.
That's saying you better come with something good if you want him. And I think that's what Green Bay is doing with Aaron Rodgers, to be honest. Like, I think they've had enough. I think he's ready to move on too. I think that, to be honest, like I know we've been on Aaron Rodgers hard, this whole time, but at the same time, even though he didn't help his case, but at the same time, the organization didn't make the moves of we're winning right now. Like they still never did that, but can't really blame them for that. They're gonna do what they want to do, bro. They obviously don't see that in you.
Is Aaron gonna get Tom in you? Is Aaron gonna get jealous of like all the things that Aaron wanted them to do?
That they're gonna do for sure. They're gonna take a wide receiver in the first round.
It's like you never took me to Europe, and now the Packers are like, let's go to Europe with Jordan Love. It's gonna be that kind of stuff with the Green Bay Packers. All the things that Aaron wanted, they're gonna do with Jordan Love there. And maybe Aaron will do the same thing if it's out in New York. He'll stop doing the McAfee show, and everyone will just kind of wake up from it. But
Ayahuasca.
Alex Strofe chiming in there. What do you think about? I honestly think, and Jeff Darlington reported today that this is starting to feel more and more like sides are playing a PR game, and we're just trying to figure out who can end this the easiest and with the least amount of damage. Which the answer to that is the Packers, because Packer fans are going to be loyal to the Packers, and Aaron Rodgers is going to be demonized, good or bad. He's made this bed. For an example, we saw Giannis yesterday go on the Daily Show, crack some funny jokes. We'll hear those later, I'm sure, in Stones or something. And it's all just fun and games. Everyone's loving it. A few people tried to create a controversy out of it, and everyone immediately killed it because Giannis has given us nothing but entertainment and fun, and just seems like a genuinely great guy. And so he's earned that goodwill with everyone consuming stuff. For sure. Aaron Rodgers, on the other hand, has not done that. He has seen cantankerous, ornery, might be the same thing. I would say judgmental. Arrogant.
Judgmental Jim.
I'm an expert on judgment.
Judgmental Jim.
But setting it all aside, Alex, do you think this is basically at this point, everyone's lining up their lawyers if we're doing the relationship thing?
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy. I was thinking about this earlier today, and I know it's not apples to apples, but I wish Brian Gutekunst was more like Chris McIntosh, the athletic director of Wisconsin, right? Show off your cojones, man. Just make a damn decision, right? Whether it's we would love Aaron Rodgers back as the starting quarterback. We would love for him to have that unique title of spending his entire career with one organization, or the flip side. I don't care if it's the flip side. If it's, Jordan Love's ready to start, we're going to roll with him in 2023. We're going to trade Aaron Rodgers this offseason. I just want him to make a decision, man. Show the onions. Show you got some.
That's why I don't believe all the noise about Jordan Love, to be honest. To me, if you actually feel like he's absolutely ready to be the starter for the Green Bay Packers, you are clearly letting it known we're shopping Aaron Rodgers. Come with your offers, because you're definitely going to clear house with it. You're going to clean house with it. But it's not that appetizing of a trade, to be honest, because you're going to have to give up a lot in order to take on somebody like Aaron Rodgers. Like, I highly doubt that the Packers are letting him walk for just like a first round pick or something like that.
I wonder, you're only as valuable as other teams, think you are.
True.
And if Aaron's playing this will I or won't I every single year, if you're the Jets, you say, like, I can only feel comfortable saying I'm getting 1 year, so that's one first rounder. Maybe you can work in a condition in there if he plays. But let's hear, Alex, want a conviction from Packers GM Brian Gutekunst, and let's hear it from him at the Indy Combine.
Really, no updates. Again, I think like I was talking earlier, haven't had the conversations that we need to have yet. So really no update. But looking forward here to being in Indy and look at these prospects and trying to help this football team. Yeah, there's been some contact back and forth. Obviously, he's had some things on his plate. But hopefully those things will happen soon.
Do you want him back as the quarterback of the Packers?
Yeah, I think those discussions have to happen and making sure that it's the right fit. But obviously, we know the kind of player that Aaron is, and once we had those conversations, we'll be able to move forward. A lot more to say.
All right, I'm going to make this very simple. Back to the analogy here, Alex Strofe. Do you want your significant other to stay your significant other?
Yes, I would love that.
Okay. Chris Orr, do you want your significant other to say your significant other?
Absolutely.
All right. Pretty strong convictions there, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And if you ask me that question, say, absolutely.
Yeah.
What are you, insane? Of course I want my wife back.
I thought you were going to go the other way with that. Absolutely not.
But, that's the point of, just own it. Absolutely just have complete conviction about it. And because here's the other part of it, Chris, as you talked about, Goody talking about Jordan Love. Well, his, side piece not necessarily feeling love either, because this is not the description that's going to get Jordan Love excited about being the quarterback for the Packers.
Man, they just want to see what people have to say. They just want to see what people have to say regarding both of them. I think that the Packers more so feel like they're good either way. I feel like they feel like, okay, if Aaron Rodgers come back, We know what we have. We know what we need to do to help this team get better with him as our quarterback. Versus, okay, if we don't have Aaron Rodgers, let's see what all we can get and help Jordan Love out. And I think they feel good about both those scenarios.
And draft the QB to make sure,
Yeah.
just in case Jordan Love isn't the guy. Yes,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a diagram expert, so I don't know what type of diagram this is, but there's a diagram there of Aaron Rodgers' play to what they think they got of Jordan Love, and it's the closest it's ever been. And then you throw in the salary for Aaron, and then you throw in the whatever you want to call the drama is with Aaron Rodgers, and that line is pretty close, especially when you can add a third line of maybe another QB, and you just take as many shots as you can as get in the quarterback position as right as you can going forward. And I've said this before, you can go ahead and compete and be a respectable team and not win a Super Bowl for 11 years with Jordan Love.
For sure.
And that's what's been the last 11 years for the Green Bay Packers. You don't get the MVP play maybe, but you can be out there and have some other guy. Maybe it wouldn't be Aaron Jones, but maybe it's A.J. Dillon that could blow up in a few years and be the next great running back. Like, you can get there different places. Packer fans only know it one way. But I want to get to our first Iron Jock poll question. This is Rutledge and Hamilton. Jim Rutledge, Chris Orr with you. And right now, and this is not, I'm not throwing stones because I'm in a glass house on this. I don't think, if you told me, like, you look back and I had like a scorecard of like every woman I've ever dated or girl I've ever dated, I don't think I've broken up with any of them because I'm horrendous at it. So I just waited out. So I can't really speak for the Packers or Aaron Rodgers of having the onions to show up and actually break up.
Yeah.
So I want to ask the question, 844-770-3776. And this will be our Iron Jock poll question. Are you good at breakups? And then please call in or text in 844-770-3776. Bad breakup stories. Because right now we're in the middle of a bad breakup story.
I'm horrible at breakups. I can do it. I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Because I'm bad with tears. I can't look at you crying. Like, I'm gonna have a soft spot. I'm like, maybe we could work it out. Like, so I'm horrible at breakups. But if I've had enough, man, you meet Chris Orr, you ain't even know, man. You're like, all right, yeah, this not gonna work. Like, this was nice. You're blocked now. Now you're blocked on everything. I go one or two ways.
Did that happen with the ex?
Yeah, that happened.
Blocked?
No, not the block. See, the tears got me for a little.
So did you get roped back in? Because that's happened to me.
Then the block came.
Yeah.
Then the block came. Because then at that point, it's like, now I feel like you're challenging me. Now I feel like you're trying me. I feel like you think you're getting over on me. And I feel like you think you have control over me because you know what these tears do.
I think you're just thinking too hard.
Here comes the block. Boom.
Here comes the boom. It's a block.
You might get blocked.
I'm going to go ahead because it is Gold Medal Tuesday. Why don't we fire that up, and I'm going to go ahead and award Gold Medal in DFL.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All you got to do is look up in the tree. Who else in the leprechaun say yeah?
Raise the flag, start the anthem. It's time to recognize the best of the best. Leinenkugels presents Gold Medal Tuesday with Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton. Leinenkugels, flavor the moment.
And when we were out at X Golf in Madison, we had some Coors Light, but I do know that the crew ordered up some Lineys because they had the Summer Shandy on special air and pitchers. So obviously the Summer Shandy was going down great. It is getting closer and closer to that spring and summertime. So that Summer Shandy was a nice reminder of like, oh, that's the taste of summer there from Liney. So Matt is usually the one that applies the gold medal in the DFL here. I'm going to do a preemptive gold medal in DFL. The gold medal is going to go to whichever side, Aaron Rodgers or the Green Bay Packers, that makes the decision. And the DFL will go to the one who didn't have the onions to make that decision. So that is our gold medal and our DFL. The gold medal will be, it's up for grabs right now.
It is up for grabs.
Who has the wherewithal to make the tough decision, make the call, and say either you're back or you're out. Maybe Aaron Rodgers start crying when the Packers start trying to break up with them, or maybe vice versa. And maybe they'll give it one more run. And maybe that already happened before Aaron Rodgers signed that big long-term contract. If you played your thing out, the Packers, Aaron Rodgers were going to break up. He cried. They decided to put a ring on it. They paid him longer, and now he wants a divorce after a year.
Man,
after they renewed their vows.
No prenup.
Yes,
tough.
Yeah, there's a prenup there. Aaron's going to walk away just fine. We'll continue this conversation on the other side. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts.
Jim Rutledge here from Rutledge and Hamilton, weekdays 2 to 4 on ESPN Madison. Listen to Matt and I every Thursday at 2:45 for your chance to win some booze. And continue to listen for your chance to win the grand prize of throwing back a drink with the Rutledge and Hamilton crew. This month, we're giving away Simply Spiked Lemonade, a new line of bold, full-flavored spiked lemonades crafted from the lemonade experts at Simply. Listen every Thursday for your chance to win.
Simply Spiked Lemonade, a new line of bold, full-flavored spiked lemonades crafted from the lemonade experts at Simply. Made with 5% real fruit juice that's been squeezed and concentrated, plus a little fizz. These beverages are bursting with sweet and tart lemonade flavor. Choose from 4 delicious flavors, including strawberry, blueberry, watermelon, and signature lemonade. Try some Simply Spiked Lemonade, a deliciously refreshing and full-flavored lemonade with 5% alcohol and real fruit juice. To talk about his experience with Ridgetop Exteriors, here's Madison area customer Tom.
When our family needed a new roof, windows, and doors, we wanted to go with a company that we could trust. The team at Ridgetop Exteriors far exceeded our expectations. They communicated with us every step of the way and provided affordable financing options that fit our budget.
Ridgetop Larry here. Thanks for choosing Ridgetop Exteriors for your home's next project. Go to ridgetopexteriors.com for a free estimate.
Jim Rutledge here to tell you about X Golf Madison, and the most important thing that you need to know is that X Golf Madison is for everyone. Heck, I golf there. Whether you're a seasoned pro, a new golfer, or in between like me, X Golf Madison is going to be fun for you. They have a full bar, excellent service, great food, and the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world. You can play one of their 50 courses available, take lessons from a PGA pro, hit the driving range, or even join a league. Stop by their East Madison or Middleton location today, or visit them online at xgolfwisconsin.com.
Did you know that several industries like e-commerce, healthcare, and surprisingly hospitality are heading for a hiring boom this spring? If you need to hire qualified candidates ASAP for any of these industries or any other industry, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's matching technology finds qualified candidates, and you can invite your top choices to apply. Millions of employers have used ZipRecruiter to help grow their teams. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/Greeny to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/GREENY.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Honda, buy local. Shop Zimbrick Honda. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Oil changes, brakes, alignments, and warranties. Honda's certified technicians handle it all. And if you need new tires, buy 3 and get the 4th for just $1 when they mount and balance them for you. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the whoops. Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When it's time for an adventure on the open highway, one quick call to American Family Insurance gets you headed in the right direction. Our travel peace of mind package is there if you encounter a bump in the road. From roadside assistance to rental car coverage, we have you covered. Find a local agent or get a quote at amfam.com.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies. Southern American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
who's in a good spot? I mean, seriously, Aaron Rodgers, maybe he's in a good spot personally. Hopefully that privacy retreat, the 4 days of darkness, helped him feel better. But Chris, I can't tell you. Chris Orr, Jim Rutledge with you live from the Spark Building.
It's 4 nights of complete darkness.
There's definitely a fraction of fans out there that view Aaron Rodgers as a victim and feel bad for him. But I had a meeting earlier today, and the person we're meeting with, she went off. She's like, Aaron Rodgers went off the deep end with that stupid Pat McAfee show, and I'm just out on him. She's a Packer fan.
Ayahuasca.
And then on the phone, I call someone up who's a friend, and literally he answers the phone. Aaron Rodgers, darkness retreat. How can I help you?
It's 4 nights of complete darkness.
And so it's one of those things that I think with each passing day, Aaron Rodgers is looking worse. So to me, if I'm him, I just pull the Band-Aid off, because at this point, you're with Rodgers. There's nothing really he can do to upset you. You're just going to stay with him. That's fine. And if you're with the Packers, you're over Rodgers. And I think everyone that's over Rodgers is because they are with the Green Bay Packers. They want to be with the Packers. And if you don't want to be here, then bye. Brett O'Clair chimes in 844-770-3776. Brett O'Clair chimes in. Sounds like Strofe will be visiting his friends at Condon Jewelers, where you said that absolutely you want to. We tricked you into it now. She's on her way in, and you better be ready.
Hey, you can never trick me into going to Condon Jewelers. Love my guy Diamond Jim. Over there.
Chris from Manitowoc Waters chimes in. Goody is like the guy in high school saying to his buddies on a girl, she's the most popular girl in school when it becomes with so much drama and BS. But she's like, and then talking about the other girl, but she, Jordan, is like the girl next door that I know I can just live my life with and be myself with. That's the analogy there from Chris from Manitowoc Waters chimes in. Pat Madison with a breakup story, because that's what I want. 844-770-3776. In honor of the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, neither side being able to figure out how to break up with each other. And I don't think that's uncommon. I think sometimes you're just waiting for the other side to make a decision. Pat Madison chimes in with a breakup story. Broke up with high school girlfriend over Thanksgiving in my freshman year of college in 2016. After we broke up, I learned that she was cheating on me with another guy. Then learned the guy she was cheating on me with was cheating on her with the same guy she was cheating on him with. They were cheating on each other with the same guy while she was cheating on me.
Oh, wow.
That's the stories I want. 844-770-3776. I want bad breakup stories.
Are you sure it wasn't just a three-way?
There's a line there from SNL that I can't go with, but I don't think it's an official three-way. It's more like an Alaskan three-way.
Jesus, Jim.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. That is Chris Orr. I'm Jim Rutledge. Alex Stroh behind the glass, live from the Spark Building. 844-770-3776. I don't know what.
He's a complicated fella.
You're getting at.
It's 4 nights of complete darkness.
Like Green Bay to me.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
I don't think so.
So we are asking the question, are you good at breakups? Because I think it's also like it humanizes it a little bit too, of like, hey, everyone's bad at the breakup. Right now the Packers and Aaron Rodgers are struggling through their breakup.
Hold on. I think you missed something for Pat Madison. Hashtag thankful.
Oh,
hashtag thankful.
Do you do the blessed hands as well?
Hashtag thankful.
A secret one chimes in with a sad tweet. You never have to deal with breakups if you can never find anyone to date you.
Oh, no.
So that took a sad turn there. Good luck to you. A secret one. But 844-770-3776. I want your bad breakup stories. Brett O'Clair chimes in off the previous text. That's the new definition of 6 degrees of separation. Let's go to Ed in Madtown. Ed, how you doing?
I have a breakup. I'm great, guys. I have a breakup story. So I was ready to propose to a girl and had brought the ring, went to her house. Her roommate was there, sat me down, and says, you don't want to do this. And I said, why? I really want to get married to her. Nope, she's already with the president of a certain company, and she's been doing it for 2 months, the last 2 months. So then, about 20 years later, my wife was working at a business in Madison. She runs into a girl, a sister of the girl that was playing around, and she showed pictures of this lovely lady that was wanting to marry. She's probably pushing almost 280 to 300 pounds. And I'm not a fat hater here, but I've been married for 30 years happily, and I'm so happy that she dumped me because for another guy that probably never panned out. So I've been happily married for 30 years, and just because of this woman went out and dumped me.
Safe to say Ed
For another
Madtown
man.
is hashtag thankful. He's hashtag thankful.
Thanks. Thanks, Ed in Madtown. 844-770-3776. If you're just tuning in.
I'm not a fat hater. I'm not a fat hater.
Oh my goodness. What does ODB say? All younger girls need love too. I think he said. And I got your money. I believe that's how the song goes there.
I just love the way he put that. That was eloquently put by Ed Madtown. I'm not a fat hater. Hashtag thankful.
Oh man, 844-770-3776. If you're just tuning in, Goody had some strange answers about Aaron Rodgers. Let's hear those first about his conversations with Aaron Rodgers.
Really no updates. Again, I think like I was talking earlier, haven't had the conversations that we need to have yet. So really no update. But looking forward here to being an ND and look at these prospects and trying to help this football team. Yeah, there's been some contact back and forth. Obviously, he's had some things on his plate, but hopefully those things will happen soon.
Do you want him back as the quarterback of the Packers?
Yeah, I think those discussions have to happen and making sure that it's the right fit. But obviously, we know the kind of player that Aaron is, and once we have those conversations, we'll be able to move forward. We'll have more to say.
Who asked that question?
That was Tim Van Voren of Fox 6 in Milwaukee.
Tim, that guy has some onions because that's literally the only question. Only question that mattered to Goody was that question. And we'll have Alex trim that down so we can play that. Just that clip back because the rest is all just word filler. Yeah, just diarrhea. That's why Tim's like, we're getting to the chase here. Do you want Aaron Rodgers back?
Ed in Madtown called me back.
Okay.
He wanted to clarify one thing. He's not a fat hater. PHAT fat hater. Not FAT. PHAT.
Pretty hot and tempting. Yep. That's all. Basically, that's what happened to Ed in Madtown. His girlfriend went from PHAT, pretty hot and tempting, to fat. And then he wasn't. 280's big. That's fine. 844-770-3776. Are you good at breakups? Right now, 67% of you say no, you are not good at breakups. And that's what we're asking the question. We heard from Goody there. The Packers and Aaron Rodgers seem headed towards a breakup. That's where today, if you had to guess, it feels like they're heading towards a breakup. And I think neither side wants to be the bad guy. And I get that. I am not faulting either side of it. It is not something you want to do. Like I said, in my life, I've been broken up with plenty. And I think one time, actually, maybe like in high school. Like, I don't know if I ever was truly surprised. Like, usually either I've already thought about it or be like, yeah, I could see that. Like, like this isn't, you date for like a month or two. And you're like, we're just kind of doing this because, until something better comes along. So, okay, fine. I get it. You don't even know. We need to talk. We don't. I know exactly what you're going to say. We're done.
I don't know how the Packers could look bad by trading Aaron Rodgers and going on with Jordan Love or vice versa, trading Jordan Love, whatever you do with him. I don't think they could look bad.
I think they're trying to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Because if Aaron Rodgers is the one that forces their hand and Jordan Love ain't it, they don't get heat for moving on from Aaron Rodgers too fast. Now they still should get heat for lighting this fire under Aaron Rodgers and being, that basically started this whole thing was when the Packers drafted Jordan Love. Now I'll maintain that Aaron Rodgers, and as an athlete, you know this, but just in general, as a person in this world, the only thing you truly can control is how you react to something. So Aaron could have just dealt with it privately not throwing these little fits, not begged for attention and love and all this sort of stuff, and could have just handled the way Tom Brady did, where he just wrote out his contract and left.
Or you know what? So what? They drafted this quarterback in the first round. You're supposed to be Aaron Rodgers. You're scared that this guy's going to beat you out or something? Like, that's typically the thought that goes through like players' minds. Obviously not my mind. After my draft year, when I was watching the draft, I was just making sure we didn't draft a backer so I didn't get cut. But like for a guy like Aaron Rodgers, like I understand you're looking to add some like young explosive pieces through the draft because you feel like that's what you need to win right now. But at the end of the day, you're supposed to be Aaron bleeping Rodgers. Like you're supposed to be Tom bleeping Brady, which is why he doesn't complain. He just says, all right, I know I'm the best. I'm gonna go out here and win. I don't feel like Aaron has that same. I don't feel like he walks around, or he definitely doesn't act like he has that same amount of courage and confidence in himself.
Biggest jackpot so far this year, $122,000 won at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. $21 million in jackpots so far this year. That number's probably higher because that number's through like 2 days ago. So I'll say over $22 million in jackpots won already at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Go be a winner and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Just last week, someone won $44,000. No reason to wait. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison and be a winner. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt.
Jim Rutledge here to tell you about X Golf Madison, and the most important thing that you need to know is that X Golf Madison is for everyone. Heck, I golf there. Whether you're a seasoned pro, a new golfer, or in between like me, X Golf Madison is going to be fun for you. They have a full bar, excellent service, great food, and the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world. You can play one of their 50 courses available, take lessons from a PGA pro, hit the driving range, or even join a league. Stop by their East Madison or Middleton location today, or visit them online at xgolfwisconsin.com.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. It's the perfect time of year to take your next adventure off-road in a powerful Chevy Silverado. Round up the whole gang for some family fun in a Chevy Equinox. Hey kids, let's go. Or take your night on the town by storm in a stylish Chevy Blazer. Make more memories and take on the road ahead. Wherever it leads you. Find new experiences, find new roads. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Levi Burkholz from Lakeside Lutheran High School. Welcome, Levi.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Favorite sport?
Oh, basketball.
And you're going to be going to the Citadel to play?
I will, yep.
How did that whole recruiting process work for you, considering that a couple of years ago we were in a pandemic? And
yeah, it was crazy. So coming out of my sophomore year, I had like 6 D1s texted me, calling. And then once the portal hit, they all told me kind of just to wait and hang on, and then kept hanging on. And then they kind of phased out. And then I picked up some D2 offers, and then the Citadel after the D2 offers, and that's kind of how it went.
Former NFL player and Rose Bowl champion Tarek Saleh here for Carbon World Health. Carbon is much more than just another gym. They offer the best recovery in the area. Some of my favorites include red light therapy and cryotherapy. Improve your athletic performance, fitness and training results, speed up muscle recovery and reduce pain, and boost your mood with these simple and non-invasive treatments. Visit Carbon World Health today and ask for the ESPN Recovery Package. That's Carbon World Health.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh from ESPN Madison. Join me the morning of Wednesday, March 8th for the Morning Sports Report presented by the Madison Area Sports Commission. I'll be joined by featured guest speaker Ken Pomeroy, the star college basketball advanced statistician, who will discuss his Ken Pom rankings, preview the Big Ten tournament, and much, much more. The Morning Sports Report begins at 8 a.m. at the Edgewater Hotel. Sign up for free at madisonsports.org/MSR. The Morning Sports Report is supported by American Family Insurance, Oak Bank, Supreme Structures, and DMI.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors.
Still Snoop Dogg and D.I. Guess who's back?
I'm not a fat hater here. I'm not a fat hater here. I'm not a fat hater here. I'm not a fat hater here.
Can't keep it home a lot. Cause when I frequent the spots that I'm known to rock, you hear the bass from the truck when I'm on the block. Ladies, they pay homage, but haters say Drake fell off. How? My last album was The Chronic. They want to know if he still got it.
I'm not a fat hater here.
They want to know how I feel about it.
We love everyone here on Rutledge and Hamilton.
I'm not a fat hater here.
Chris from Manitowoc Waters chimes in. Breakups are easy. Why waste your time if it isn't right? Been easy for me my whole life, but I lack having any compassion most of the time. I'm not even sure if it's compassion because I don't think people
It's not compassion.
would call me compassionate regularly. And so I think it's more of judgmental Jim. It's a lot to deal with. It's just a lot. It's just a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And
You still care about that person.
right. You don't want them to
Like
feel-
Green Bay definitely still have love for Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers, without a doubt, has love for Green Bay. I think there's mutual love there.
Right. And I think that's why ideally this relationship between the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, and sooner than later, because the sooner it ends, the more likely it ends as well as it can end. And then you can get on with moving on. And whenever Aaron Rodgers ends up retiring, then he'll be back in Green Bay and we'll forget all of this. So
I have a question.
What's your
I have
question?
a question for both of you. Do you think that this Aaron Rodgers situation works out differently if there was a single owner, like with other teams, instead of how Green Bay does it?
Oh, that's a great question. 844-770-3776. Do you think this would be an issue if the Packers had an actual owner?
Yeah.
And
because at the end of the day, like him being a franchise quarterback for as long as he's been there, by this point, you have the conversation. He would have conversations with the owner. And it's like, hey, man, like, I know you want to win a Super Bowl. Even if he says, like, these guys aren't trying to help me out, or that owner can go light a fire under that GM's butt and get Aaron whatever he wants, to be honest.
I like that. I think if they had a better president, Mark Murphy's their current president, but this did happen under a previous regime as well. So maybe that's part of the problem. But I do think if you had a better president who could just handle things and be more someone as I think for the Packers, maybe to succeed long term, the president, for all intents and purposes, needs to act like the owner during their time when they're elected, that he needs to act as I am the owner of this team.
For sure.
I am making the decisions. Everything stops with me, and I will be the end all be all on this. And I think that's fine when you're elected the president of the Packers. I think that is, or CEO, whatever Mark Murphy's title technically is, like that's the person that is the head of operations for the Packers. And if you are that, then you need to take an ownership role, which means, to your point, you need to have a come to Jesus moment with Aaron Rodgers and Goody. Like it's like Vince Vaughn in the movie Wedding Crashers. Like someone, it's not Mark Murphy, but someone needs to sit down and be like, hey, you like this? We started off as young kids and we're this year, but now we just got to break up and we'll move on and everyone's happy at the end of it. You know, that opening scene where they're divorced. I believe that they're like divorce counselors or divorce lawyers, and they're just, everyone was in a stalemate, and Vince Vaughn cracked a few jokes, said, remember this, remember that. Okay, now we're just going to move on. You're going to live your life. You're going to live your life. And that's what the owner needs to do. You can sit down with Goody, sit down there and say, hey, Goody, you loved it when Aaron was here and throwing touchdowns and wasn't on a radio show all the time and splitting hairs of vocabulary and everything else out there. And Aaron, you loved it for a while here, but now you don't feel like this team is showing you enough attention and love. And so you go find what you need to do. We'll do what we're going to do, and we're going to separate amicably, and we'll revisit this in 10 years after you retire, and we'll put your you'll go in the Hall of Fame, you'll go in the Packer Ring of Honor, and we'll all forget about it. And that's what needs to happen now. They need Vince Vaughn.
As long as you don't go to NFC North rival, I don't think you can get in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I couldn't put him in. I wouldn't want to put him in if he went to.
What's the equivalent
Detroit
in this
in,
dating
like,
scenario of going to the NFC North?
Cousin, you talk to my brother. You talking
Brother.
to my brother.
Brother,
You
yeah.
start trying to date my brother, bro? First of all, my brother wouldn't do that. He'd laugh at you. But like, you try to date my brother? There's no honor here anymore.
So I'll say brother's probably the good one.
Yeah, brother is a good one.
But otherwise, yeah, or close relative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because otherwise it's just.
Or I guess like one of your closer friends, even.
Yeah. It's, there's a code to that. There's
a code.
There's a code. So 844-770-3776. Share your bad breakup stories in honor of the Packers and Aaron Rodgers moving towards what I think is a breakup. And I think it needs to happen sooner than later because I do think this is jamming up the works for the Packers offseason. I mean, just for a juxtaposition, Bears general manager Ryan Poles today said, I can't sleep with how much excitement I have because I have $100 million to spend. First pick, people are trying to take it. And there is a real excitement, but there's so much he can be doing right now at the combine because he knows here is what is in front of me. I know my offseason, whatever it is. I would say Goody right now has the worst position of any GM in all of football because he doesn't know what his offseason looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
He doesn't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be his QB. There's no two ways about it. You have different plans if Aaron Rodgers is your QB and if Jordan Love is your QB. Because if Aaron Rodgers is your QB, you have to keep Randall Cobb and others. And if it's Jordan Love, you have different choices to make.
For sure.
You all right? I was hoping someone would hop in so I could clear my throat.
Chris was going to, and then you made him laugh by having a coughing attack. We all right over there?
Dying.
I just had all of a sudden I just talked too long and my throat got too dry and I just needed to have someone to hop in smoothly, but that wasn't going to work. Luckily, I always have the support of our friends at Iron Jock. Go to ironjock.com, use the promo code ESPN25 and get 25% off your next order. Make it a big order so you get there's no limit on it, so you got to spend $50, but other than that, get stuff planned out. You got stuff coming up. You want to be geared up for golf season. You want an awesome hoodie for the spring. It's fantastic stuff. No stink technology, local company. Braylon Allen's talked about it, and you've seen plenty of other great people talking about it as well. I shouldn't put Melvin Gordon on the phone right now as he's calling into the show. Maybe Chris can say what's up, but this is Rutledge and Hamilton presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
There may be snow on the ground, but now is the time to get excited about enjoying the outdoors on luxury patio furniture. Let the trained staff of the Bruce Company help you bring your outdoor dreams to life. The Bruce Company, your outdoor living experts. 43 years ago last week was the miracle on ice when the United States men's hockey team topped the Soviet Union. Former UW Athletic Director Pat Richter and host of the Pat Richter Show Saturday mornings at 8 on ESPN Madison talked about one of the stars in that game and current UW women's hockey coach Mark Johnson, who Richter hired in 2002.
Certainly was wonderful to have a chance to interact with Mark, and he was a terrific job coaching, and he's the right person for that women's program, and is just a great representative of the university.
Lock in your prices at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin by February 28th and get 0% interest for up to 48 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
The best quality roofs, siding, windows, and doors, expertly installed and at an affordable price. Hi, this is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. Integrity, excellence, quality, and community are what we value here at Ridgetop because we want to do a great job to help our friends and neighbors. We always want to exceed expectations because customer service is our number one goal. We're trusted local experts you can count on for your home exterior projects. Thanks for choosing Ridgetop Exteriors for your home's next project. Go to ridgetopexteriors.com for a free estimate.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Nice run. It's great being back out on the mountain. You sort of disappeared for a while. Everything okay?
Between you and me,
It was lower testosterone. Lower T? Yeah. The doc told me once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone, and that can make it harder to stay in shape. That's why I started taking Nugenix Total T. It's made a huge difference.
Oh, I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
For sure. It's the #1 doctor-recommended testosterone booster. It boosts free and total testosterone levels to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. My wife, my boss, my kids, everyone has noticed the change in me.
Do they still give out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yes, just send them a text.
Guys, text HATCH to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC and Walmart. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back in shape fast, absolutely free. Text HATCH to 321321. That's HATCH to 321321.
Zimbrick Chevrolet.
When was the last time you had your oil changed or your tires rotated? Do you need new tires, a battery, perhaps some windshield wipers? Zimbrick Chevrolet Service Center is equipped to help you with routine maintenance, major repairs, and everything in between. Get your free battery inspection coupon and schedule an appointment today at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Don't overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Main Street, Sun Prairie. Zimbrick Chevrolet.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Carbon World Health.
You got to chill.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
I will do my best to be as articulate as Matt was when I answer my question here about Alan Lazard.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton.
All right, boys. Take
right.
care. Be good.
With Jim Rutledge and Matt Hamilton. Presented by Coors Light.
It is Jason Wilde. You were having a long conversation with Wilde off there. You didn't take his best stuff, did you, Stroh?
Of course not. We were just discussing everything that's been going on today.
Oh, I got you.
Busy day in Packerville.
So did you ask Jason Wilde what'll be it's our poll question. It'll be our leadoff question here for Jason Wilde, because Jason, it feels like, and I think Jeff Darlington tweeted this out, and I'm sure you might have the same feeling, that the Packers and Rodgers are maybe heading for a breakup, but neither one of them wants to be the person who breaks up with the other. So I wanted to ask this question first. Are you good? And I know it's been a long time, but were you good at breakups?
I would say that was on a case-by-case basis.
Because I said I was not. I just waited it out, and just like, you, whenever you're ready, just break up with me because I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, that is the MO of some. I think I was more likely to be proactive than wait to be dumped. Or I do enjoy the force them to break up with you to save yourself from having to break up with them approach. I've always been intrigued by that approach that some have taken. But no, look, first of all, and I like Jeff. I've known Jeff a really long time. Yes, there is a but coming here. I'm confused as to how last week he can go on television and say that he had spoken to a very important, his words, Packers source, indicating that Rodgers would be back with the Packers. And now today he has taken what Goody said and run with it as, oh, now it's over. That was only a couple days ago. So I don't know who he's talked to, but I saw Jeff on Get Up this morning after Rob Domofsky tweeted out some of what Goody had said to the Wisconsin media that are down at the Indianapolis Scouting Combine. And, I heard what Jeff said flat out. Well, he said, he's a great player, but ... I don't even need to hear what he said after the but, because that tells me that they're ready to move on. Well, yes and no. I mean, what came after the but was kind of important. And that was, until they have these conversations, they don't know. But, another but, Goody did say that all options are on the table right now. And so, yes, does that mean trading Aaron Rodgers is a possibility? Yeah, but is that really that enlightening or no? Because, I am trying not to be overreactive, which is what our business does. to stuff like this. But like we've known all along that if Rodgers comes back and says, and he certainly set the table for this with the things he'd been saying on McAfee, if Rodgers comes back and says, hey, I still want to play, but you guys sure look like you're going to be in rebuilding mode to me, so let's work out a trade, fine. But if the Packers want him back and he wants to be here for whatever reason, what if he's afraid of failing in New York, right? Like, I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying what if. What if he just thinks that, you know what, if I'm playing the way I'm capable of, and we get a couple more pieces and these young guys get their acts together, we can get back to playing for a berth in the Super Bowl. So why would I leave? And why don't I just stay here and collect my $60 million? I can see that too. So I just, you know, and Goody wouldn't answer the one other question that I was really intrigued by, which was when somebody asked him, you know, is it possible that he wants to come back and you tell him, no, we want to go a different direction? And Goody's answer was, and I'm quoting here, again, until we have those conversations, I think that's pretty hypothetical. But like I said, everything is on the table. So now that, which has not gotten a whole lot of attention here, that interests me. If it came to that I'm interested in. That I'd like to see. Does Goody really have the cojones for Aaron Rodgers to say, I want to come back and I want to retire a Packer? And him to say, yeah, well, we had a different plan in mind. Because here's the other thing, and I was just telling this to Homer and Tony on ESPN Milwaukee, you better be careful, because if he comes back and says he wants to play and you say thanks but no thanks, and he goes somewhere else after you trade him and is boffo awesome, and Jordan Love is even worse than Mitchell Trubisky, and you were wrong about whatever confidence you gleaned from watching him in practice and in preseason games and 10 snaps against the Eagles, and he sucks, which I'm not cheering for. I'm not saying that's what will happen, but if it does, you have now put yourself in the hot seat when you could have easily taken the simpler, more direct, and more secure path of a Pro Football Hall of Famer wants to play for us for another year. We should let him play for us for another year.
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. I think that. So my thoughts on everything is that I think Green Bay. I do think that there's a possibility of Aaron Rodgers saying he wants to be back and them saying no. But I think that only happens if they're intrigued enough by some great trade offer, which honestly, I don't know if it's more so Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, they're trying to shop and just listen to whatever people have to say. But I also think that people don't want to take on that cap hit and give up what they have to give up for Aaron Rodgers. But I think the Packers are sitting pretty right now, like as far as Goody in the organization. You know, their thoughts are, okay, Aaron, if you want to come back, we know we get with you. We know what we might need to do to make this team better with you. But at the same time, it's like, all right, if we don't get you back, then we're able to get some other pieces that actually help us be a better team for the future. Like, I think that Aaron Rodgers his presence with the Green Bay Packers is doing nothing but hurting that organization. And then the finger point starts. Yesterday we were on talking, and I was saying how, you know, Patrick Mahomes he gets his receivers and all his guys down to Fort Worth, Texas every offseason, and they're putting in reps upon reps upon reps. And you keep a guy that's a franchise quarterback, you keep a Hall of Fame quarterback because they can make up for where you lack in talent on your roster. And I can see Green Bay saying that I don't think Aaron can do this for us anymore. We might as well try to use him to bolster our roster for Jordan Love. What do you think?
Well, and the point that I think is important, Chris, that you made there is I think there's going to be, and again, I don't know this for certain, but I think there's going to be some chill effect on the idea of giving up assets to acquire a star quarterback after how poorly it went for Denver.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think that nothing against Russell Wilson by any means, but we'll see what he does with Sean Payton now, because apparently Sean Payton is the guy who coached the Seahawks if he could get Pete Carroll fired. But if that happens and he rebounds, great. But if he doesn't, that's just further evidence that the Broncos gave up a ton of trade assets. What, 2 1s, 2 2s, and 3 players to get him, and then gave him $245 million, and they were terrible last year. Now that doesn't mean they'll be terrible this year, but if I'm a bargain shopper, right? Like I want, if something's on sale and if my favorite bubbler drink is on sale, I'm stocking up when it's on sale. So if I'm the Jets, for example, and I can get a younger and certainly not as good. No, I'm not putting these 2 quarterbacks in the same category at all. But if I think that I need a veteran quarterback who I think is pretty good, not Hall of Fame good by any means, but pretty good, and he just needs a change of scenery, I'm signing Derek Carr. Now, I am not a Derek Carr fan like Jesse Nelson is, but Derek Carr costs me less money, and more importantly, his team cut him. I don't have to give up a draft pick to get him. And I think, if you're the Jets and you think you've got a pretty damn good team and you just need somebody more mature than Zach Wilson playing quarterback, that seems awfully tempting to me, because what you would have to give up in a trade, let's say it costs the same amount as it cost the Raiders to get Devontae Adams. Let's just say it's a first and a second, and it's simple as that. Those are 2 really important picks, especially if you're a playoff team, a non-playoff team, because now you're picking in the upper half of the draft. So if I'm, desperate for quarterback improvement, but I also think, hey, we got a pretty good scouting staff here. I think we can get 2 good players with those 2 picks. Maybe you're not willing to give those up and pay more than you'd pay Derek Carr to get Aaron Rodgers. And remember, it could be a 1-year rental. You could give all that capital up and all that money up for 1 year, and then he decides after 1 year, like Brett Favre did after 1 year, I'm retiring, or in Favre's case, I'm retiring, please release me so I can go to the Vikings and stick it up Ted's you-know-what.
Talking with Jason Wilde, and Tausch. You can hear that 9 to noon here on ESPN Wisconsin. I am curious to see what the actual trade market is for Aaron Rodgers, especially that last bit there. Jason, when you talk about how much can you trust him committing to a new team? What do they feel comfortable giving up? But I had a question about LaFleur and his staff not going to the scouting combine. And Chris had talked before about how this is a big networking opportunity. And, most people talk about it, that these coaches are down here and they're talking to, look, Goody's going to have a busy job down there. I'm sure he's trying to gauge the trade market. But a lot of coaches go down there to pick the brain from other coaches in a more casual setting, build a network. So I don't know if maybe you need to replace a defensive coordinator. You have a lot of names to choose from in future references. Like, how connected do you think LaFleur is in the NFL to the point where he doesn't see the value of going down to Indy and just networking with a bunch of other coaches? So he has, if no other reason, more options to replace people if he continues to lose coaches to other teams or has to replace a coach.
Yeah, it's a great question, Jimmy. I have no good explanation for what benefit comes from not going to the combine. I mean, this idea that you're going to stay back in Green Bay and work more on your scheme, like, it's what? Like, most coaches don't even go for the whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
They go for a few days. They don't stay there for a whole week plus. And oh, by the way, their position coaches don't either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember, because obviously I used to travel to that every year, and I don't like driving long distances. So I did the drive once on Mike McCarthy's advice. Oh, Jason, you gotta drive it. You get 7 hours in the car. You can get caught up on calls. You just sit and think, because he would drive. Even Mike McCarthy, a heck of a lot more money than I do, preferred to drive. And so I did it for 1 year. And I said, Mike, thank you for your advice. I'm never fricking doing that again. But like, even when I would fly and I would leave a few days before it ended, I would leave when the media availability portion would end. I'd be on a flight with James Campen, the offensive line coach, and Edgar Bennett, the running backs or wide receivers coach. Like, once their guys got done working out and doing interviews, they would leave after their position was done. One time I went a day late because the girls had something, and on my flight was Joe Witt, the defensive backs coach, because he was getting there for when the defensive backs were going to work out a couple days later. And so this idea that LaFleur and all the coaches didn't go, that seems sketchy to me. And someone will have to explain to me how many great things they're accomplishing in these few days. I am a big believer in more information is better. There are very few exceptions to that concept to me. And to not be down there and sitting in on draft interviews, to not be down there and, like you said, networking, or, you don't know. You just lost Jerry Gray as your defensive backs coach, and you don't know, somebody might leave next year. You don't know who you're going to run into at St. Elmo's that you'll strike up a conversation with and think, I kind of like that guy. I want to interview him the next time I have an opening. It really makes very little sense to me. And if you're a conspiracy theorist, I can see you thinking, I think he's just staying back and because they don't want to have to answer any questions about Rodgers. And he doesn't want to deal with all that. Maybe that's the case, but I don't see the upside.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I mean, this doesn't meant to be a shot, but like if Kansas City was like, no, we're kind of burnt out, like we're not going to go. But, or even other years would be fine. But you didn't make the playoffs. Sometimes you got to get out of your own head too, Jason. Like, take a break, talk to new people, get new ideas. And I'm with you. Hopefully it'll work out for him. But Jason, I don't want to keep you any longer. So thank you so much for cutting time out of your busy day to join us.
I join you every Tuesday. It's not my busy day. I'm happy to do it. And tell Matt Hamilton that he needs to work more on Tuesday.
I think he's back.
That would be galactically stupid.
I think he's back next Tuesday. So fingers crossed.
I can all find together. All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
All right. That's Jason Wilde. You miss any of that? Listen back, Wisconsin on Demand, Apple, Spotify, any of those great places. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
Yeah, it is. And I'm Alex Strofe, your Sports Center update brought to you by the Green and Gold Fix podcast, home to the best Packers conversation from ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe, rate, and review the Green and Gold Fix podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. Plenty of conversation expected today after Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst speaks with the media down in Indianapolis earlier this morning at the NFL Combine. Goody was asked by Tim Van Buren of Fox 6 in Milwaukee simply,
do you want him back as the quarterback of the Packers? Yeah, I think, those discussions have to happen and making sure that it's the right fit. But obviously we know the kind of player that Aaron is. And, once we have those conversations, we'll be able to move forward. We'll have more to say.
That's Brian Gutekunst, audio courtesy of ESPN's Rob Demovsky. Continued coverage of all things Rodgers watch over at ESPNWisconsin.com. To the NBA we go. The Milwaukee Bucks currently riding an NBA-long 14-game win streak. They put that on the line on the road tonight as they visit the Brooklyn Nets. It's a 6:30 tip, a 6 o'clock pregame, which you can hear right here after Scal Zone Brust on 100.5 ESPN. The Bucks favored by 6.5.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
You got to chill.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton with Jim Rutledge and Matt Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
Do you want him back as the quarterback of the Packers? Yeah, I think, those discussions have to happen and making sure that it's the right fit. But obviously we know the kind of player that Aaron is. And, once we have those conversations, we'll be able to move forward. We'll have more to say.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN Madison studio with Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
Should Matt LaFleur be expanding his coaching tree, his network? Because I think for me, that's the case of why he should be down in Indy, is that there's only so much work you can get done just banging out play. I don't know what you're doing at this point that you're going to, rediscover how to unlock the potential of whom? No. That's the other part. You don't know who's your quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why he should be at the combine.
Right.
You being the head coach, you being the signal caller, you need to be getting to know these quarterbacks because they might get to the 15th pick and they say, all right, we need a quarterback.
Or maybe you trade Rodgers to Las Vegas and you get 7th pick. And you go, oh, would you look at that? We need a quarterback. There's a quarterback available, Mr. Anthony Richardson.
Boom.
Matt, what do you think about him? I don't know. I saw his film. That looked good.
I don't know.
And I'm sure he'll go to pro day for it. So the scouting is one thing. But for me, it's the connective tissue that he's missing out of.
Hey, Brian Gutekunst, what do you think of your first-round pick? I don't know. We'll see. We have to have some conversations around his rookie contract. We'll see if he's a part of the Packers.
And I do appreciate what Jason Wilde was bringing to the table as far as, Goody didn't say no, but to me, it's a big deal because I'll ask the question again. Alex, do you want to stay with your significant other?
I would love to stay with my significant other, yes.
Chris Orr?
Absolutely.
Yes. Without a doubt. And again, that's all good. Do you want Aaron Rodgers back? Yes.
Or no.
I
honestly, obviously, me as a Packers fan, I want Aaron Rodgers back, right? I just think he will always give you the best chance to win. I don't have a ton of faith in Jordan Love as much as I did like that pick in 2020. Aaron Rodgers went out and won back-to-back MVPs. He showed he was the best player in football 2 years in a row. I want him back. However, I also just want a general manager with conviction, with some cojones, if you will, right? Make a decision. That's all I'm asking for.
And this isn't the right comp because the guy got fired, but the one thing I said, I completely disagreed. I did not like Chicago drafting Mitch Trubisky, but I said at least he saw a guy and took a guy.
I agree.
Yeah. And said he had to have that guy.
This is what I'm doing. I make the decisions.
Yeah.
It's done.
And he did it, and it worked out. He did it for Khalil Mack, and he got Khalil Mack. So, I mean, having someone that is not letting – what's the – Shawshank Redemption. I try to remember this. It says get busy living or get busy dying. And right now, Goody's dying.
Yeah.
Because – well, this is why I think the answer is no. Because if the answer is yes, just say yes and put Aaron in a bad spot. This is what I don't understand.
Yeah.
If you want Aaron Rodgers back, then you just say yes and put the ball all the way in Aaron's court and say, yeah, we want Aaron back. It's up to him.
I think it's going to get really messy if they don't just go ahead and dead all of this, move on from Aaron Rodgers, get what you can get, and draft a quarterback and make him and Jordan Love compete.
That's the way to do it because
compete. Even in free agency, you might be able to sign somebody like Teddy. I'm just using him as an example. That bridge
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah. You can get a bridge quarterback. You can get a bridge quarterback. You have Jordan Love there, and then you just drafted another quarterback, and then you surround them with talent. And now you make the decision to say, we're going to find out who's the best, and we're going to see who gives us the best chance to win. Let's go from there. Boom. It's done.
Rip and Rona chimes in. Doesn't Goody lose a little trade leverage if he's black and white and says no, though? Well, and Rip, and I don't disagree with you.
Probably does, yeah.
That's my point. That if they wanted him back, and I agree with you, Rip, he does. But if they wanted him back, just say yes. That's my point.
Yeah.
If you want Aaron Rodgers back, just say yes.
That also doesn't necessarily mean you're still not open to trading him. Right? It just means right now, as it stands on February 28th, 2023 at 11 a.m. when I'm fielding questions in Indianapolis, Indiana, right now it stands, I want Aaron Rodgers back. But maybe on March 3rd at 3 p.m. when the New York Jets call and offer 3 first-round picks over the course of the next 2 years, maybe I don't want Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback.
One of my Rutledge rules is everyone's a hypocrite. I don't care. If I'm a Packer fan and Goody says, yes, I want him back and trades him 4 minutes later, I don't care.
Yeah.
That is not the story. The story, if Aaron Rodgers is traded, is not Goody's a hypocrite. That's not the story.
No.
It's Aaron Rodgers is gone.
Yeah.
So there's literally no downside that if the Packers want Aaron Rodgers back, then just say it. And forget even putting words into Goody's mouth as far as implying the negative by not saying it. If you want him back, say it.
Yeah.
This is where the Packers are screwing up. There's no downside to saying, yes, we want Aaron Rodgers back. End of story.
And it'll help you. Like, you put all the pressure on him. You put the ball solely in his court. You save yourself from looking like you save those fans that were, like we were talking earlier, that were thinking about going with dad. Now they're like, oh no, like Mom clearly said she wanted to keep this in the family, and Aaron Rodgers decided to leave. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. But I think that he doesn't want to say anything, and he wants to just digest any and everything that people might be saying to him. I think that might be his whole objective for going to the combine. I mean, outside of obviously scouting the new prospects, but
I'll go back to this. And 844-770-3776 will ask you this question. Should Matt LaFleur be at the combine? Here's another reason why. That let's say the Packers go with Jordan Love. But let's say Jordan Love sputters out and the team maybe wins 7-8 games. So LaFleur keeps his job, but there might have to be some heads that roll on offense. Maybe even on defense too. Let's clean up a staff. Again, where is he going?
Yeah.
Where is he going to for his staff? It does not seem like he has a large network of people that he's connected to. Like, nobody's going to be inspired, Matt, if you say, it's like the idea of like the meme where you pull off your mask and it's still you. If you say we fired our offensive coordinator Stenovich next year, and now it's Mike LaFleur as our offensive coordinator, that's just pulling off the mask and it's still you back there.
Yeah,
So like Matt needs more connections there. I cannot tell that enough, but it goes back to, we talked about it before, Badger football. Maybe Paul would have been better off if he was able to like not be so loyal and get out of his network. Maybe Paul's still the coach because maybe he finds some guys that have strengths that wasn't his, that he had a hot shot assistant that was the guy that wanted to be out pounding the paveways and just grab recruiting by the horns and could have been a head coach in waiting, and Paul has his job for a few more years.
For sure.
And maybe that was Leonard. But my point being that like getting outside your comfort zone can work. Maybe Badger basketball needs to look and say maybe Greg Gard stays, but maybe Greg needs to clean one or two of his assistants out and say, bring in some new names.
Yeah.
But the question is, for all these coaches, you get complacent. Who are your new guys?
Yeah.
And I go back to Barry Alvarez, and I believe he got the job. Pat Richter and Barry have both kind of shared the story of Barry came in with a staff and a book saying, here's what I'm doing. But the most important part to me was he has a staff. And when I'm looking at a new head coach hire, Luke Fickell, for example, with the Badgers, he has a staff ready to go. And they're not all his guys from Cincinnati. Longo's a guy he tried to hire and couldn't, but he stayed connected to him. And to me, it's just next level thinking from a head coach that says, I need to always be looking for the next great assistant because, and this is a trap that offensive coaches fall on more than defensive coaches, you can't be the brains behind the operation. You have to be the CEO of the operation, even in the NFL.
Yes.
And LaFleur better be out there trying to find the best assistants out there because you're only as good as your players and your assistant coaches.
Yeah, there's a rare breed of coaches that can be the head coach and the signal caller. What do you have on your face, Alex?
These are my safety glasses, Chris, because things are getting a little dangerous around here.
Yeah, they're blue safety glasses.
Yeah,
exactly what you think they are. You can see them at Jim and Matt.
I will say, I had a contact tear in my eye earlier today. Luckily, I have extras here, so I had to throw it out. But my eye's a little irritated, so I figured if a little bit, irritated. So I figured if I threw some safety glasses on, my eyes would be less irritated. You know what I'm saying?
You're irritated.
I'm kind of a genius.
I need some safety glasses for
hey,
your
Chris,
irritation to me.
Hey, Chris, watch it.
Or
all
else
right?
what?
Or else what? Or else I'm going to hunt you down, man.
Otherwise, those safety glasses are going to be imprinted into your face there.
Chris, what were you saying about the Packers? Or did you completely lose your train of thought because of my sexy glasses?
No, I was just saying how
my sex appeal distracted Chris Orr.
No, it didn't. But no, I was more so just saying how twofold. One, when we talk about the offensive coaches, the main difference is on offense, especially in the NFL, it's all about creating your one-on-one matchups, creating slight leverage to gain a few yards. You're not even you have to orchestrate these plays in order for your guys to get open, which is why Andy Reid has the success that he has. Whereas when you get coaches that come from a defensive background, their mindset is usually, all right, this is how we want to look on offense. This is how I want us to look on defense. This is how I want us to look on special teams. We have our core values. But at the end of the day, we're going to do what we do. We're going to play hard, and I'm going to let you guys play. That's probably the biggest. That's why the philosophies are so different. When you get a defensive coach, he's so much looser with the team. Like, I trust you. I drafted you for a reason. I built this staff for a reason. I'm going to let you do your thing, which is why, I think that they, in the end, might have better success long term. But two, not going to the combine. I mean, I understand the thought of not wanting to answer questions about Aaron Rodgers, but there's an easy way to avoid that. You can just direct all those questions to your GM. You say, hey, man, I really don't have much to do with that. I love Aaron. I think he's a hell of a player. We love to have him back. But if you want to know all those details, you're going to have to ask Goody. But as far as the networking, like, as a coach, you have to understand that even as a player, you can never be good enough. There's never your one philosophy, your one way of thinking about football is never enough. It's never perfect. You have to be okay understanding people's different ideas, even if they came off the same tree as you. Like, man, there's so much of that. Like Bill Nagy, all the guys that came off of Coach Reed's tree, and even LaFleur coming off of McVay's tree and going all the way back to Shanahan, all of them look a little different. So you have to be open to those things because it's not going to do anything but help you become better. Because in my eyes, Packers offense looks bland. Like, I know you talk about the defense, but their offense looks very bland. It don't look balanced. Like, there's a reason why you can't get some of these explosive plays. There's a lot of reps that left, and it doesn't help when in the offseason your quarterback, who all your receivers are expecting to throw the ball to him, is like, I don't know if I'm going to be there. So they have no idea who to work with. You're not going to get that chemistry, and that's all football's about.
I'd like to share a couple things here. One, I have no idea how teams work. So I have no respect for the show that I do here. So Greg Scalzo called me yesterday. Then our market manager, West Palm Beach, just called me now mid-show. Melvin Gordon called mid-show earlier. He's going to be on tomorrow. We'll get a graphic up for that. But nobody seems to pay attention. But I tried to message this person who's calling me on Teams. I have no idea how to do that. I was like, I was trying, like when you get a call on your phone, you can message them and say hey, I'll call you back. Like, I have no idea how to do that. I should know how to do that.
So it's just ringing?
Well, now it's done. Yeah, I just let it ring out. I tried the whole time.
Wait,
Chris
who
is
is
talking.
that?
Stephanie Prince, who's our market manager down in West Palm Beach.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to West Palm, probably telling me something about for a visit. Nobody's trying to take me to West Palm Beach, but Florida's still the worst state out there. It's only getting worse. And so not going down there anytime soon. But then I also saw
this
this
down there on Thursday.
But to live.
Oh,
yeah. That's my point. Obi-Wan Mahomey, which is an amazing.
Oh, that's great.
That is an amazing Twitter name. So the Chiefs only have $98,000 in dead cap space. Kansas City has set the example of how to run a team.
Yep.
$98,000 in dead cap space. That's it. That is remarkable. So I do want to ask the question. Our secondary Iron Jock poll question. Is Matt LaFleur not going to Indy because he doesn't want to answer Aaron Rodgers questions? 844-770-3776. The question you should answer is the questions from Canopy Wealth Management. They'll ask you good questions to help you figure out the right plan for your family. Every family has different values, goals, and what they need to do to get there. That's how, with their comprehensive financial planning, you can get to the goals that you want. When do you want to retire? What type of life do you want to live when you're retired? They will help you find the answers to all of that. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started with them today. That's canopy-wealth.com. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt.
Hey, Matt Hamilton here to tell you about Ridgetop Exteriors. They provide the best quality roofs, siding, windows, and doors, expertly installed and at an affordable price. Trusted and recommended experts here in the area. They consider customer service to be their number one priority and strive to exceed the expectations of homeowners they serve. Best part is they're local. They live and work in the areas they serve. So the people they're helping are oftentimes their friends and neighbors. Go to ridgetopexteriors.com now to get your free estimate for your next home project.
O'Reilly. Count on the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your vehicle and budget. Get maximum cooling system performance for 10 years or 300,000 miles with peak long life universal premixed antifreeze and coolant. Now just $6.99 after mail-in rebate. Limit supply. See store for details. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wu-Tang versus the world. The final season of the Hulu original series, Wu-Tang: An American Saga, is here.
You know what it's like in hip-hop.
From creators The RZA and Alex C.
You're on top of the game right now.
And executive producers Brian Grazer and Method Man.
It is way more fun when it's out of control, son.
Enter the final chapter of the Wu-Tang Saga.
Gotta win.
Don't miss the final season of the Hulu original series, Wu-Tang: An American Saga. Now streaming only on Hulu.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. It's the perfect time of year to take your next adventure off-road in a powerful Chevy Silverado. Round up the whole gang for some family fun in a Chevy Equinox. Hey kids, let's go. Or take your night on the town by storm in a stylish Chevy Blazer. Make more memories and take on the road ahead. Wherever it leads you. Find new experiences, find new roads. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Everywhere you look, from groceries to utilities to gas, prices keep going up. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin can dramatically help lower your energy costs year-round by replacing drafty windows and doors in as little as 6 weeks. And now you can save even more by taking advantage of 0% interest for up to 48 months when you lock in your prices by February 28th. I'm Gina Della from Pella. Bring the love of Wisconsin's outdoors in through the beauty and quality craftsmanship of Pella Windows and Doors. Whether you're updating or upgrading the look and comfort of your home, Pella has extensive lines of customizable options to meet your needs and your budget, no matter the season. Replacing drafty windows and doors can dramatically lower your energy costs. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin offers some of the most energy efficient windows in the industry, designed to keep the cold outside where it belongs. Lock in your prices by February 28th and get 0% interest for up to 48 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Restrictions apply. A wide array of opportunities abound at Waste Management.
During the whole pandemic, Waste Management didn't have us laid off. I didn't get pay cuts, all that, keeping all of our benefits the same. They'll pay for your bachelor's degree. They'll pay for my master's. Next year, they'll be willing to pay for my wife's master's and like kids, and to show that they're really about putting their people first and growing the business within. That's incredible.
Join the Waste Management family. Just search online, Waste Management Careers.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Jonathan Taylor, pro running back and UW Credit Union member. Now that I'm always on the road, I need mobile banking that can keep up. That's why I use the UW Credit Union app. It lets me pay bills, send money to friends, and check my credit score. Whether I'm in Indianapolis or Ixonia, Jersey or Janesville, Miami or Milwaukee, get mobile banking that gets you with UW Credit Union. Join today at uwcu.org.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Medicine.
We're going to throw some stones in a second, and I hope Giannis is in there because he was on earlier, Chris, or last night, I guess. He would have been on The Daily Show. It's no longer with Trevor Noah, who today, I think it was San Matvey. I forget who it was. Someone was stepping in and filling in for Noah.
No, Noah's done.
Right, you're right. So, but they're rotating hosts.
Oh, are they?
So,
They have a name department? I don't watch it anymore. I haven't watched it since who was on there before?
Jon Stewart.
I
absolutely loved it with Jon Stewart. Trevor Noah grew on me over time. Like, he was way better than I thought he was going to be. But it was Giannis was on last night. And honestly, I'd recommend finding it on social. I retweeted it at Jim Rutledge. The whole thing is funny because they lean into Giannis because he's too nice about, like, they write trash talk for him. And so as we hear some of this audio, I do want to point out to everyone to set it up. We want to make sure we keep our athletes in context. You can tell he's reading it. Like, you can see his eyes moving across the board. And they even reference multiple times that he was reading these. But just on the radio medium, we want to make sure that it's fair to our friend Giannis. But he's Chris Orr. I'm Jim Rutledge. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Alex Strofe behind the glass. Let's throw some stones.
The guys live in glass houses, but that's never stopped them before.
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
It's time to throw some stones.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
On Rutledge and Hamilton, brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Oh, thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
Chris just went off the air and told me how cool I look in these glasses.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he said.
He did not say the word ridiculous once. It is time to throw some stones here on Rutledge and Hamilton each and every day. I scour the interwebs to figure out what the heck has happened. In the last 24 hours, I've got questions. Jim and Chris have answers. I'll score them throughout, and at the end, we'll crown a winner of Tuesday's edition of Throwing Stones. We start with the aforementioned Giannis Antetokounmpo on The Daily Show last night and his message for Kevin Durant.
And I believe that's with Hassan Minja.
There you go.
So that's who it is. I got it mixed up with someone else, and he's great. Highly recommend. He's really funny. He's got a couple Netflix comedy stuff.
Yeah, he's got a couple specials.
Yeah. Very funny guy. Yeah.
Anyway, I want to know your message for Kevin Durant. Chris Orr, I will start with you. What's your message to Kevin Durant?
I guess I'd say you don't get the true respect as a athlete, as a great. I feel like until he wins a championship without going to an already pre-established team. Like my opinion on this would be different if let's say Phoenix just had like Chris Paul there, right? And then
Chris Paul's old is
true.
You
No,
know,
true,
so, like,
true. Okay, let's just say they had Devin Booker there.
Yeah,
they already have Devin Booker, and Chris Paul and Kevin Durant decide to go to Phoenix together. Like I view that completely different. You're gonna tell me there's no difference in that?
You're splitting the hairs here. You're basically like, if he does it exactly how LeBron did it, I'm okay with it.
No,
but otherwise,
I mean how LeBron did it, how the Celtics did it. Like to me, that's better than you going to established teams who have made it to the finals.
But now you're the one that. So I'll give you, and I actually don't agree with it. I'll give you the Warriors, but he got them back-to-back titles with the Warriors.
No, true.
But
He's
with
a
the Suns,
great
if he
piece.
goes to the Suns, they win a title. I'm sorry, this is Durant's title. They weren't able to win it without him. Like he's the one that put them over the top.
I can see that, but I'm not giving it to him.
Because Chris Paul is not the same player.
I'm not solely giving. I'm not saying this is KD's championship.
But that would be like me saying I wouldn't give it to LeBron when Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh were pretty dang important for those teams.
Yeah, but you don't have to give that to LeBron if you don't want to.
Right, and you don't have to give it to Durant, but like to me, this is very equal. I'll tell you this, Kevin. Here's what I have to say to Kevin Durant. Don't let the haters keep you down. You are just extending the legacy of LeBron James, and this is not a bad legacy of player empowerment. I'm not going to split hairs on what team you go to and try to judge it on this. Players nowadays, and it was started by LeBron, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Started by Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray.
They were traded, though. It's a little different. I'm saying this as a positive for LeBron James. He started in player empowerment, which I am a fan of, but I'm not going to split hairs on how you get to your super team. To me, now it's all the same.
Jim, you should know by now. You should know by now. If you say anything positive or negative about LeBron James, Chris is going to be offended.
Right, no. My question is just that, like, people criticize LeBron for that, but like,
I'm not criticizing him.
No, I know you're not. I'm just saying, like, people in general criticize him for that, but like, so many people go to bat for KD. Like, this is just adding to his legacy, and I'm just like, bro, no, this is not. If anything. If you're gonna take some of LeBron's championships away, KD has none.
Okay, and I'm not gonna. We gotta move on. I'm not taking rings away from LeBron, and I'm not taking rings away from KD. I mean, as a positive, the only negative I had for the decision was how he did it, not that he did it. It was the whole show thing, and I think
You're the best in the world. They're gonna give you a show.
I think he's alluded to the fact that maybe that wasn't the best choice, and then he did the whole not one, not 2, but that
He
backfired
went back
on him.
home.
But he didn't get any. He didn't get anywhere close to as many he said he was going to win. All right,
Not 6, not 7.
you're right. Not 6, not 7,
One there
not
long
5.
enough.
Not 4.
Pat
3.5.
Riley, Pat Riley messed it up.
All right, let's move on to the NFL. The Atlanta Falcons have cut star of Netflix show quarterback Marcus Mariota,
future Packer.
Do you think?
I'll tell you what. So he's got ties to Matt LaFleur, and if Aaron Rodgers is gone,
I can see that.
Especially if you don't draft a guy, a safety pick.
Where does he have ties with them? In Tennessee?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And a safety pick there. Like, got Jordan Love. We don't know if Jordan Love can stay healthy all year. We don't know what he can do.
Need a backup.
As I pointed out in earlier shows, Justin Fields and the Bears, I think, were 0-7 in one-score games because no matter how dynamic he was, to try to finish off a game is hard to do. Aaron Rodgers, I believe, was 6-10 his first year as a starter. So, and those are with high-level quarterbacks. So you might take a step back in wins and losses. But if Love struggles or gets hurt and you feel like Mariota can keep the team competitive, he's a guy that would fit.
My question on Mariota getting cut is, would it make you more inclined to watch that Netflix documentary that features him, Mahomes, and Kirk Cousins? If they featured him getting cut in the documentary, would that make you more inclined to watch it? Jim, I'll start with you.
No, I've seen that plenty of times in Hard Knocks. It's not like a new thing. It's definitely sad every time you see it, but you saw it in Hard Knocks. It'd be less sad in this because Mariota's got plenty of money and he's had a nice NFL career, so he's got a chance to live his dream. And he just wasn't good enough to be an NFL starter consistently, but there's worse things in life than not being good enough to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to make me want to watch it more. It's never good seeing somebody get cut or hearing about somebody get cut. And yeah, I've never understood why they like put such a focal point on showing that anyway. I don't know. I understand you want the
same reason
drama.
The Bachelorette and The Bachelor exists.
I understand you want the drama, but sometimes it just doesn't make sense. It makes sense for somebody big like Mariota, but it doesn't make sense that you're just showing this guy that got cut day 1 of training camp because they didn't want him anyway. But no, it's not gonna make me want to watch it anymore.
Fair enough. Last one for you fellas today is IHOP National Pancake Day. I want to know what the best pancake topping is. What's the best thing you can put on top of a pancake, Chris Orr?
I think you go simple. My guess is like some type of whipped like butter. Nice warm butter and some syrup. Or something you could do. You cut up some butter, put it in like a little bowl or cup with your syrup, heat it up. Thank me later, brother.
I think I would go classic as well for the pancakes. I 100% agree. The one thing I'll throw a little kick into it, if you are a fan of bourbon, lots of brands, including Dancing Goat locally, Whistle Pig, Crown Royal, all these brands, they make barrel-aged syrup. So it's got that bourbon flavor to it.
Ooh.
And so you can pour that over your pancakes with the butter if you like the flavor of the bourbon. I'm not a big
I don't know if I want that with my pancake.
it's really good. I've had it. I'm not a big pancake guy, so for me, it's 1 pancake, maybe 2, so it's not a lot, and just put a little bit of that bourbon on there. It's good. I would agree with you. Keep it simple, but if you wanted to spice it up a little bit, at least for lack of a better word, a boutique syrup. Like let's go more than just like the microwavable squeeze syrup. Like it's something that's in a bottle.
Yeah. Aunt Jemima, I believe her name is.
Right. Yeah. I don't even know if that's still around anymore, but like actual.
Wait, did that get canceled?
For obvious reasons, but like,
my bad.
Like it's not. You're not bad for bringing it up. I'm just saying that yes, it was like a glass, like a hard glass one.
Don't cancel me. I didn't know that.
That's fine. Nobody's canceling you. Relax.
Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles
or French toast?
Waffles.
I'll go French toast because it's such a rare treat.
I don't like French toast. I feel like a lot of people that make French toast, especially at home, too much egg.
Why are waffles better than pancakes?
I don't know. I think it's the crunch.
Yeah.
You guys
Like
are
the
crunch
texture.
guy.
And pancakes is too rich for me. They're so sugary. I'm not a real morning person as far as eating breakfast.
I love
and
breakfast.
so I can't, like I could do a brunch. Like my wife, when I'm home, she'd be like, I don't eat a lot for dinner and I don't eat much for breakfast, but lunch is my big meal. And like that's what I'll like, whatever reason, like that's when I'm hungry. Like 11 o'clock, I'm hungry and I can eat the most I'm going to eat. But then the rest of the day, I'll snack, or breakfast is just not so much there for me. Now I just do like, I'm an old man. I just do like a yogurt, maybe a banana, and some coffee.
I watched Chris Orr slam an entire, that big chicken sandwich they have at Vintage next door.
Oh, yeah.
I watched Chris Orr demolish that after the show yesterday.
Well, he's getting ready for playing USFL football and everything.
He is indeed. He leaves tomorrow. So with that, our winner today.
Give me the dub.
Chris Orr.
Congratulations, Punk.
Punk.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
Money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, Matt Hamilton here. Whether I'm dropping putts on the golf course or I'm sweeping stones on the ice, Iron Jock is my go-to apparel. Their state-of-the-art silver ion technology is guaranteed to keep you feeling fresh and provide odor-fighting protection for as long as you own it. Iron Jock gear eliminates 99% of odor-causing bacteria with their performance apparel that was designed from the inside out. Visit ironjock.com to get your Iron Jock apparel, or visit any local Fleet Farm dealer today. Iron Jock, it's what's inside that matters.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Honda, buy local. Shop Zimbrick Honda. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Oil changes, brakes, alignments, and warranties. Honda's certified technicians handle it all. And if you need new tires, buy 3 and get the 4th for just $1 when they mount and balance them for you. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Looking for your next spot out with family or friends? Head to one of Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company's 4 locations in the Madison area. Whether you're on the east side, downtown, in Fitchburg, or at Hilldale, you're sure to enjoy one of Madison's favorite traditions. Head to GreatDanePub.com to find the location near you. Always local, always welcoming, and always committed to the craft. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994.
Hey, it's Alex Rowe from ESPN Madison. Join me the morning of Wednesday, March 8th for the Morning Sports Report presented by the Madison Area Sports Commission. I'll be joined by featured guest speaker Ken Pomeroy, the star college basketball advanced statistician, who will discuss his Ken Pom rankings, preview the Big Ten tournament, and much, much more. The Morning Sports Report begins at 8 a.m. at the Edgewater Hotel. Sign up for free at madisonsports.org/MSR. The Morning Sports Report is supported by American Family Insurance, Oak Bank, Supreme Structures, and DMI.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Wisconsin.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by X Golf in Madison and Middleton.
undefined.
Brett Leclerc chimes in. Strofe needs to get to carbon to work on those abs so he can properly distract Chris
Ooh.
Orr.
Well, you know what they say about me, Jim?
So you're a scarecrow?
No, they say I'm wheeling, dealing, sex appealing, just like the great Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, is he alive?
Somehow.
How old is he?
He's getting up there. Have you watched the 30 for 30 on him?
Probably not, because he was not the type. He was not the wrestler I was into. Because wasn't he in the other league? Like there was WWF at that point.
Yeah, and he was in WCW at some
Yes.
point. Yeah. But he said in that documentary he has had over 10,000 partners.
Oh, wow. So do you think he's more steroids or STDs at this point? Like
The latter.
Steroids.
The latter.
Steroids. You got to keep taking them. That's why he's still
Flair was
alive.
never that ripped.
But I think that's why he's still alive. Just because you take steroids don't mean you're going to get huge.
Yeah, work out.
How do you know that, Chris?
It's the truth. You don't do that much.
You
for
get something to tell us?
Nah, I wish. Maybe I probably wouldn't be here if I was taking steroids.
Where would you be? Bodybuilding like
Man, I'd be in
Schwarzenegger
the
or what?
league still, man.
Oh,
I'd have
yeah,
ran a
fair.
4.4. I'd have been like 240 running a 4.4.
Or you'd be suspended, you know.
Yeah, or
Well, now I would imagine like the steroids that a wrestler took back in the 80s and 90s.
It's probably so different.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's like that. And this, like Lyle Alzado, I think he was a Raider player.
Yeah.
Like those are steroids that like Tony
You weren't supposed to
Mandrich,
take
like
this, bro.
yeah, like wrecked your body. So the steroids. Now it's more of like that engineered human growth hormone stuff that
Mhm.
Ryan Braun took and other folks, where it's like, or Barry Bonds, your head just gets really big.
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I'd be too scared. to do
Chris's
that.
head is too small. He didn't take steroids.
Yeah, it
He's
mess
not
with your-
taking HGH.
But that stuff messes with your heart, your manhood. Nah, man. I like mine.
Didn't you tell me that Mountain Dew messes with your manhood?
They do, man. Stop drinking that.
Yeah, that's been around forever. Yeah,
I don't think that's accurate. Otherwise, I would see the results of that by now.
it's more of
I think it's
how,
if you're like a heavy drinker.
but also it's like no, he's a heavy drinker. I think it's more about how
Did you just call me a heavy drinker?
no, like heavy Mountain Dew drinker.
Oh, yeah.
how effective they are.
Huh.
Like what the job it's there for, of like creating life. I think it's more your swimmer's problem than like a. So you wouldn't know that.
I wouldn't. Should I go get them tested?
You might just wait till it matters, or just stop drinking as much.
Start taking cold showers.
There you
What does
go.
that got to do with my swimmers?
Boost your testosterone.
Cold showers boost your testosterone?
Yep.
Working out does too.
It gives you a
Hey!
dopamine spike.
Did 75 push-ups this morning. I'm getting ripped.
Good for you. How long did it take you?
Longer than I'd like to admit.
Did you break it down into sets?
Yeah, 25s.
Okay.
3 sets of 25. The last set I was swearing.
What's the most you can do at once?
Probably 25.
Nah, you could do more than that.
I don't think so,
If you
Chris.
could do 3 sets of it, you should be able to do more.
What was the break in between sets? Do you even lift, bro?
No, I don't. I'm trying, but as we talked about yesterday, I'm trying to get ripped. I need to get ripped. Maybe I should get on steroids
I'll send you a workout.
or steroids. That's fine too.
You go to not for the
Don't
steroids.
take steroids.
You could go to Carver World Health. They like give you a little run through and
Good
everything.
additive there.
Yeah.
Beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's run by a doctor. He's not going to give you steroids. But I would say that, look, they're the ones that'll, because it's probably more like the training that Chris does. It's not like this, like, just go to the gym and throw up a few reps. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of,
I just want a 6-pack.
What's your goal?
6-pack.
that's a hard
diet.
goal, actually. Yeah, that's a diet thing.
That's
All
your
right.
diet.
So what should I eat?
Cleaner, way cleaner than you.
Like
Honestly-
how clean we talking?
Very clean.
I had chicken tenders and mac and cheese for lunch. So
No, not
probably
good.
cleaner than that.
Not good.
Here, honestly, the part of it is you should eat well enough that when you eat bad, you feel bad. Like,
Mhm.
that's one
Yep.
part of it. Like, that's how you know you're eating well.
Well, I have the diet of a 6-year-old.
Right,
So,
so,
let's
like-
figure that out.
That was one part of it. But you easily could just get, like, more defined arms and chest. Like, abs is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Like, that is the hardest part. You could just figure out the
I
rest.
how
sent
do I
you a
cheat?
diet plan.
You did well. You sent me your diet plan.
Yeah, use it.
I don't know about that.
We only got a minute here. I'll before we gotta go to break, but I'll share this with you. The biggest lie everyone tells you, Chris, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but the food pyramid,
Mm-hmm.
that's an American food pyramid.
Yeah.
That is not a food pyramid that
Yeah.
exists anywhere else in the
Yeah,
world.
for
Did
sure.
you know that, Alex Strofe?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the American food pyramid is heavily bought and paid for by the dairy and farmers associations.
Yep.
So should I not eat dairy in the dairy state?
It's not as much as they tell you to eat.
Yeah.
Like your dairy consumption and your red meat consumption is much lower anywhere else. It's anywhere else, any other country will tell you more grains, and other things, not as much dairy. Like it's sad, but it's bought and paid for. You don't need as much dairy and red meat as the food pyramid tells you.
You should try
honestly just look up
macros.
Look at a European food pyramid and
that-
just try
and
to
that's
follow
actually
that. Just try to follow that a little bit.
I've been drinking smoothies.
Or I can just give you the my wife makes really good meals for the kid. I can just give you the diet that she has for the kids. Like when they eat breakfast, it's usually like an oatmeal because there's protein in it and kind of fills you up and hold you till snack time. You have a light snack. Lunch, you make sure you have a protein, a grain, and a vegetable. And then you have like a fruit for a snack, and then dinner, same thing: protein, grain, vegetable.
Do your kids have 6-packs?
Like actually they do. One of them's a gymnast. Like everyone's, oh my god, you're cut.
Workout.
Workout.
You're cut.
Do a whole bunch of
because she's
pull-ups.
doing like flips and everything.
Yeah,
Like
you should just do a whole bunch of pull-ups and push-ups.
yeah. But honestly, if you just
Can we get a pull-up bar installed in the studio?
the biggest,
I'll do them during commercial.
The biggest
breaks.
lie out there is that I'll eat like a 6-year-old. No, you don't. You eat like how a 6-year-old would want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Any 6-year-old, a good parent, does not eat anywhere
don't eat
close
like
to
that.
how you eat.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I joke all the time. I wish I had someone to like dish out my food, like like your parents did. Of like, no, here is your broken out.
I really like this pull-up idea. Let's get a pull-up thing for the studio.
Pull-ups are hard.
I understand that, but I'll just do them every day during commercial breaks, and by like June, I'll be really good at them.
How many pull-ups do you think you could do at once?
I bet I could do 15.
If you can only do 25 push-ups, I highly doubt you could do 15.
I've always been good at pull-ups.
I was going to say, the only thing is pull-ups to me are the most random thing. When I was in school, there was a girl who I swear weighed like 85 pounds, twig, and she like won the
I
contest.
don't like that you pointed at me when you said twig.
But like, and then you see like the football team, and there's guys on the football team could do like 5 because it's just like they're heavier and it's a different like, and it's a different like it's a lot of bicep and it's a weird. It's not necessarily the best way.
I can do.
like,
it depends on the grip. It emphasizes different parts of your body. I could do like 20, a little more than 20.
Oh, then maybe I can't do 15.
Maybe like
Rip and Rona on the
22.
text line 844-770-3776. Jim sounds a little like Rogers with his dairy take. 2 peas in a pod.
Oh, that's Dr. Nestor Rodriguez told me that, and my
man.
actual doctor.
Or use your head. We're the only animal that drinks other animals' milk.
He's a
complicated fella.
That is weird too. I
That
figured
cannot be that good for you, bro. Like, actually think about it.
You don't drink milk?
No, I don't drink milk.
After my wife had children, we had kids in the house. I'm like, this is weird. That like once they stop nursing, I'm like, so they just drink another animal's, but they have to. So do give your kids milk though. Like they do need the fat for their brains and everything.
Fiber?
What?
Fiber comes from plant.
Yeah.
I don't know how anything works.
Milk is the opposite of fiber.
I literally
All right,
I literally have no idea how anything
it does
works.
the opposite of fiber for your body. This is Rutledge and Hamilton. That was bro talk. Like Coors Light.
Listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute powered by Everlight Solar. Simplify your life, save money, and clean up the environment. Learn more at everlightsolar.com. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. 43 years ago last week was the miracle on ice when the United States men's hockey team topped the Soviet Union. Former UW Athletic Director Pat Richter and host of the Pat Richter Show Saturday mornings at 8 on ESPN Madison talked about one of the stars in that game and current UW women's hockey coach Mark Johnson, who Richter hired in 2002.
Certainly was wonderful to have a chance to interact with Mark, and he was a terrific job coaching, and he's the right person for that women's program, and is just a great representative of the university.
Lock in your prices at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin by February 28th and get 0% interest for up to 48 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
North and South Seafood and Smokehouse is the official barbecue and seafood and smokehouse of Rutledge and Hamilton. Make sure to listen every Wednesday for your chance to win a $50 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse in Madison, Verona, and DeForest. North and South Seafood and Smokehouse.
Still overpaying for a razor? In this economy? Gross. At Dollar Shave Club, you can get a top shelf shave at a regular shelf price. We've been hawking shaving products for years online, and we're excited to bring you the same great quality and low prices at a store near you. From high-quality stainless steel blades to super smooth shave creams, Dollar Shave Club's in the business of making your shave easier. Find Dollar Shave Club in the men's razor aisle. Getting your Dollar Shave Club razor wherever you want. Isn't that great?
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Pennzoil Platinum can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $37.99. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com. Get in zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
When you open up a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van, you're opening up more than just doors. You're unlocking potential. The potential to do your own thing, be your own boss, and steer your own success. Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van owners live, work, and play out their dreams, no matter how far off the beaten path it takes them. Because they know there's nothing like taking your own route and reawakening that spirit of adventure that lies within all of us. With 16 body types, your choice of a gas or diesel engine, and thousands of ways to customize, a Sprinter van is capable and versatile enough to help drive your ambitions, wherever you want to take them. So go ahead. Now's the time. Unlock your potential inside a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter.
Hi, I'm Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock with Retirement Income Strategies. And what sets us apart is we're an independent, family-run office. We help clients like you understand the financial world and build a portfolio that's in your best interest. To learn more, go to MadisonMoneyGuy.com.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
I feel like new sunglasses, like a brand new pair of jeans. I feel like taking chances. I feel a lot like 17.
Here. Make your way over to Rooster Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. That is a great way. It is $3.52. Their Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl happy hour is going to be starting soon. You know you don't want to go to your back to work or to your next meeting or just to an empty house. Go home. Go over to Rooster Chris Steakhouse. Say what's up to Kevin and Lee, and get yourself an old fashioned or whatever it is your drink is, Coors Light, and just enjoy yourself and enjoy that Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl happy hour. Get a steak sandwich, all of that at their happy hour rates over at Rooster Chris Steakhouse in Middleton, the best happy hour in Madison. Here's Chris Orr. I'm Jim Rutledge. Alex Strofe behind the glass. If you're missing today's show, you can listen back. Apple, Spotify, any of those great places. Brett O'Clair chimes in. Speaking of dairy, have you guys seen the farming story on Marcus Landry? I have not, but it's popped up my timeline. I'm excited to watch it after the show. It's like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah,
it does
I
look very
watched it.
interesting to me.
It's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild how he just got into that out of nowhere.
So I will say, Marcus, when I first got here, the team was Marcus Landry and Joe Krabenhoff were kind of the stars of that team. I think Taylor might have been, Jordan Taylor was a true freshman maybe on that team. It was Tim Jarmus was one of the players as well. So that was, needless to say, not a great team, but they had a lot of young guys behind it in Lure and Nankiville. And hopefully for Badger basketball, this is the case with this team as well. But we have a second here, and the Badgers play Thursday night here against Purdue. It is I think a must win for them to make the tournament. Is that fair to say? Do you guys agree with me? They need to win that game to be able to get into the tournament.
Yeah, I'd agree.
You're saying Sunday?
I thought
tomorrow?
they play Thursday.
Well, they play Purdue tomorrow or Thursday, excuse me.
Yeah. And they have to win that game. Otherwise,
I don't think so.
If they're the last 4 in right now,
I don't think losing to the number 5 team in the country ruins your case.
At home, though?
Yeah.
But that could be the last little push out, especially if Michigan wins.
I honestly thought the Michigan game was going to be the last push, but Lenardi still has them in. So I would say this. If they lose to Purdue, beat Minnesota, and win 2 games in the Big Ten tournament, I think they're in. They have to win 2 games in the Big Ten tournament then. If they beat Purdue, they're in.
Yeah.
If they beat Purdue, they can lose in the Big Ten tournament. They can lose to Minnesota, they're in.
That's fair.
So they are
I think it can certainly sway one way or another.
If they lose to Purdue, they're going to finish the year below 500 in conference play, which should automatically be an eliminator, in my opinion, for tournament.
I think there's a few conferences where you can make an exception. I think the Big Ten's one of them.
Right, but there's a decent shot they're going to be finishing right now. God, you have to go so far down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 10 teams in front of the Badgers right now in the Big Ten.
They're in 11th, yeah.
Most of the time, including the Big Ten Conference, that many teams are not getting in the tournament. It's usually around 8. So I don't know where it'll end up. Maybe there's an assumption that Penn State will fall off. They have the same record. But if the Badgers lose, for an example here, to Purdue, and let's say they even beat Minnesota, so then they're 9-11.
Okay.
Well, Penn State only has to win one of their last 2. They have the exact same record. And so right now, Wisconsin's behind them. And everyone else will have a better record than them in the Big Ten. So they're not going to finish much better than like 10th in the Big Ten.
You've got the schedule up in front of you. Did Wisconsin win at Penn State? Did they sweep?
I don't have the
series?
schedule in front of me. I have their record in front of me. So I have the conference in front of me. So
I want to say we did.
They won at
They
Penn
did.
State. Yes,
Yeah,
they won at Penn State. They
I
went
think
overtime.
They swept Penn State this year, so I think that gives them the edge over them. If they
Well, it
finish with the
depends.
same
If you
record.
finish below them in conference, that still might keep you out.
Yeah.
Because that's conference play. I'm not talking about overall record.
This stinks.
Which
man.
they
Even
also
with
have
the
a better
sweep?
record.
Even with the sweep?
Penn State's 8-10, so is Wisconsin in conference play.
So
But
I think it's make or break time on Thursday.
I think it gets. I mean, they could make a little run in the Big Ten tournament, but
yeah,
I think yes, it gets much
But
harder.
if they beat Purdue, if they upset Purdue on Thursday,
They're 100% in.
I agree.
That I agree with. Now, my concern is it would be. I shouldn't say a concern, but it would be a epic. Is Chucky playing?
It's not looking like it.
If Chucky's not playing, they're going to
tough.
struggle against Minnesota, let alone Purdue.
That's tough.
Luckily, Minnesota's really bad.
Right. Well, that's why I started with that one. If they lose that, then there's
Oh
major
yeah, then
problems.
it's game over for sure. But I don't know, man. It's been a weird year. But if they do beat Purdue, that means they, and according to this week's AP poll, they have then beaten the number 5 and the number 6 team in the country this season because Marquette's number 6.
But that's a big if.
That's a big if.
I
Obviously,
agree
it's
with you.
big
If they
if.
win, they're in. Because that's the thing. Marquette was so long ago. It was not that team. So I'll say this.
Hold on, time out.
What?
I just got in your ears, as you guys know, but nobody else knows. I said 1 minute, and Chris looked at me and said, "Really?" He did that. He does this every time we do a show.
So
It just doesn't feel like we've been on that long.
quickly, I got to add this. That's not a good show. Great guards assistants are Joe Krabanoff, Dean Oliver, and Sharif Chambliss.
Yes.
Sharif's the new one.
Yep.
If they struggle this year, and honestly, it'd be Dean because Krabanoff's too close to guard not to be there. Like, do you look at trying to find someone that covers up your weaknesses? They recruit the same players from the same places, and I think at a bare minimum, I'm not even saying that like it should be fired in a bad way. It's just a matter of fresh faces. Ben Brust needs the studio. Scalzo and Brust up next. This has been Rutledge and Hamilton. Thanks, Chris. Presented by Coors Light.